Well, we are back here live in the Founders Club, and I just been updated on the score in Kamloops. 7-6 is the overtime final. Victoria defeats Kamloops. Unbelievable, Coach. That is unbelievable. Tri-City Americans head coach Rick Kozuback now joins me, and Coach, that's a shocker there. That's going to be felt all around the country tonight.
Well, you know, I think it's, if you look at it a little bit more realistically, though, Kamloops just came back from what everybody knows is a tough Eastern swing, and it's not easy to play the number of games that they had to play. They played in Prince Albert on Wednesday night, probably jumped right on the bus and drove back, probably got into Kamloops late Thursday, you know, to turn it around and be able to play. And then when you play Victoria, I think if they were playing Seattle or the Tri-Cities or Spokane, it might have been easier. But when you play Victoria, coming back after a pretty tough road trip, and then you get Victoria thrown at you the next night, you know, the motivation isn't there. What happens is like what happened to us tonight. Exactly. You make a lot of mistakes, and you play fundamentally pretty weak, and the other team is on a high because they just won their first game, says who knows when, and they're ready to go and win some games. And it's a great moral victory for Victoria. It does hurt Kamloops, depending, of course, on what Seattle does on their Eastern swing.
That's right. And now with that, what it does is it keeps it at 7 points. But I believe now Seattle has 2 games in hand on Kamloops, and they by far have the easiest part of the schedule heading into the last part of the season. So things could change at the top of the Western Division as we head into the last few weeks of this season. Coach, 9 out of 11, big win tonight. A game that, from what I'm picking up right now, a game that you probably didn't feel like the Americans played up to their abilities.
No, we didn't have a good game at all. I think we have to be really lucky that we didn't come to play, and we have to be lucky that Portland didn't want to play, because it made the game at least a victory for us. I thought fundamentally we did a lot of things poorly. Our power play was as bad. No, it was the worst it's been all year. You know, we just couldn't get anything going. We played really, and a lot of guys just couldn't, things didn't work. Like the pass didn't go into people's sticks. We didn't make the right decision when we had the puck. We broke down defensively, and those are all the fundamental things that shouldn't happen to us at this time of the year. But the good thing about it, I suppose, is that we were able to win the game and not lose the game, and we needed those once in a while.
Coach, do you find that when a team is on a roll, even the mistakes, the bad games, it has a tendency to be overlooked, and you can pick up on those 2 points, but you've got to be really careful not to play 2 or 3 consecutive bad games, because the luck does run out.
Yeah, I don't think we want to overlook the game.
Never mind.
What he's trying to say is, do you find it tough for the other players to go after, say, another player like Rob Krause? For our team that has been here, that find it tough to check Rob Krause, maybe drop the gloves if they had to, even though that Rob Krause is from this area here, or he played for the Americans here.
I don't even really think that enters into anybody's mind. I don't think that there's no premeditation whatsoever. The guys are there to play, and they're there to compete, and Rob's, or whoever it may be, is on their team to compete, and then you have to play the game. If you know, if it was anybody, it wouldn't really make any difference. I don't think that's an issue at all.
I think I got that right on. We'll find out later.
Who do you think played the best tonight?
Tri-City Americans.
There's about 44 penalties in this game. Do you think that it should have been lower or higher? What did you think about
It probably could have been a lot more. I thought that was probably the one, well, from our point of view, was definitely the chippiest game that we'd been in. I'm sure we're definitely not angels by any means, but I thought that was about as uncontrolled as I've seen Portland this year. You know, we've got a multitude of cuts. I think Calvin Nibbs has got 2 broken ribs and a bad thigh bruise. Steve McNutt has 2 broken ribs. Jeff Fancy got cut for 8 stitches. You know, a number of other guys have got cuts and pretty severe bruises, which we haven't had all year, like not to that degree. It was definitely a game that I'd hate to see repeated again.
What do you think about Sue fighting for the first time?
Actually, I don't even, you know, the fighting that really to me is not, and I don't like discussing those things. It's for, everybody has to get involved once in a while, and if he chooses that that's what he has to do at that time, then I guess we'll accept it.
When you were little, did you ever play hockey?
Did I ever play hockey? Barely, because you can see by the way we're coaching the team that we must not have played very long.
How do you choose who's goalie? Because sometimes Ole's goalie and sometimes Don Blitchen's goalie.
Right now, we're really fortunate. We have two guys who we feel really comfortable with. They're both capable of playing in any game. We run on a little bit of a rotation right now. Not anything that's really predetermined a long way in advance. We just go by whoever played well the next one night. If we play Spokane, Donnie's probably going to play tomorrow. Come back here, we'll make a decision on who will play the next night. We're in a really good position. I think better than any other team in the league. That we now have two goaltenders who we feel can play against anybody and give us the wins.
I'm just curious on when Ole had a problem with his pads and Stu went and told the refs, how come they didn't come timeout or something so he could fix them? Why'd they just keep playing?
Yeah, you know, I didn't even know that his pants were falling down. Actually, but that's what was happening. And
he
I
told
didn't
everybody, you know.
I don't know. I suppose he wanted us to take our time out and then have the goalie come over. I don't think he wanted to slow the play down any more than it was already being slowed down. He probably wanted to get the darn game over with. It took 3 hours as it was, but again, he didn't explain, and we didn't really require an explanation, I guess.
Coach, tomorrow night you travel up to Spokane. This is the last triple of the season. Again, Spokane is not a very easy place for the Tri-City Americans to play. I've lost two in a row right now up in Spokane. Game plan for tomorrow night. You got guys that are injured. This is probably not how you wanted to go into tomorrow night.
No, that's for sure. You know, our game plan. We have not had success in Spokane. Really, we won one game, played inconsistent in some of the games. We got beat badly in one game. I think that the way we're playing right now makes it a little easier to go into Spokane. I think we feel that they're a team that we have to beat. We know that we play Spokane and Portland 9 times, well 8 times now in the next 17 games. So more than half of our schedule is against Spokane and Portland. And when you throw Victoria in there, all of our games, or the majority of our games, are against teams below 500 and below us in the standings. So we have to, knowing that, we have to go in there and feast on some of the lower teams in the league, and it's time that we win a game in Spokane. We felt we were due for a win in Kamloops. We got it. We feel we're due for a win in Seattle. We almost got it the last time we were there, and hopefully we'll get one. We need to win some games in Portland, and we definitely need to win this last game in Spokane. So we have to be really positive going in there, and we're not going to dwell on this game tonight. We just have to look at the future and pick out tomorrow, and it's time. We need one.
All right, and that, of course, tomorrow night in Spokane. I'm sure that you'll see a number of the Tri-City American fans taking the trip up to Spokane. Back here once again on Sunday against Moose Jaw. Coach, I'll let you go now. I know that you got some things that you have to take care of, and we'll go ahead and wrap it up from here tonight as well. Again, the final score tonight, the Tri-City Americans 6 and the Portland Winterhawks 2. For Coach Rick Kozuback, Tom Lathan, Kirk Williamson over in the booth, good night, and thanks for listening.